Hello, friends. There are two types of retirees heading into the final months of 2026. The first type is going to close out this year receiving exactly what they have always received. The same deposit, the same deductions, the same amount they settled into when they first filed and never revisited. Not because their situation didn't change, not because more money wasn't available to them, simply because nobody told them that the window to act was open and that the window closes when the calendar does. The second type is going to end this year with a higher monthly benefit, permanently, because they took a specific set of actions before December 31st that the Social Security Administration allows, that most retirees don't know exist, and that once the year closes cannot be applied retroactively. Everything I am covering today is about making sure you are in that second group. This is not about loopholes. This is not about exploiting the system. Every strategy I am going to walk you through today is written directly into SSA policy, legal, documented, and available to you right now. The only reason most retirees don't use them is the same reason most retirees overpay on Medicare surcharges and miss out on benefit adjustments that were sitting in their account waiting to be claimed. Nobody sat down and explained that the option existed. I am doing that today, before the year ends, while the window is still open. Stay until the very end, because the last strategy I cover is the one with the largest potential dollar impact, and it is the one SSA makes the least noise about. And if SSA Now is where you come to stay ahead of what the Social Security Administration is doing before it affects your check, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Every strategy in this video has a deadline attached to it. The people subscribed here act in time. Everyone else finds out when the window is already closed. Let's get into it. The first strategy: correct your earnings record before December 31st. Your Social Security benefit is calculated using your highest 35 years of earnings. SSA pulls that data from payroll records submitted by your employers going back decades. And in a system that has been processing payroll data since the 1950s, errors happen more often than most people realize. A wrong number submitted by an employer, a year of self-employment that didn't get reported correctly, a period of work where the records were transferred improperly. Each incorrect year sitting in your benefit formula is costing you money every single month, not just now, but for the rest of your life, and compounding into every future cost of living adjustment applied to your benefit. Here is why the year-end deadline matters specifically. SSA processes earnings corrections on an annual cycle. Corrections submitted and verified before December 31st are incorporated into the next benefit recalculation cycle. Corrections that come in after the year closes join the following year's queue, meaning a fix you could have had reflected in your January deposit gets pushed to the following year instead. Go to ssa.gov right now. Log into your My Social Security account. Open your full earnings record and go through it year by year. Compare what SSA shows against whatever records you have: old tax returns, W-2 forms, pay stubs, anything. If a year is missing or the number is lower than what you actually earned, file a request for correction of your earnings record with whatever supporting documentation you can locate. The fix is free, the impact is permanent, and the window to have it reflected in your 2026 recalculation is closing. Second strategy: file SSA 44 and eliminate your IRMAA surcharge before year end. If your Medicare Part B deduction is higher than $185 per month, you are paying an IRMAA surcharge. And if your 2024 income was elevated because of a one-time event that no longer reflects your current financial reality, you are paying a surcharge you legally do not have to pay, and every month you wait is another month that money leaves your account without coming back. Here is the timeline that makes year-end critical. SSA uses your 2024 tax return to set your 2026 Medicare premium. If you experienced a qualifying life-changing event in 2024 or 2025, retirement, significant income reduction, sale of a primary residence, death of a spouse, divorce, you can file SSA 44 to request that SSA use your more recent and more accurate income figure instead. When approved, the surcharge is reduced or eliminated, and the correction hits your monthly deposit going forward. The reason to act before year-end is compounding. Every month the surcharge runs unchallenged is a month of overpayment you absorb permanently. There is no retroactive refund for months that already passed before you filed. The sooner SSA 44 gets submitted and processed, the fewer months you lose to a charge you were never supposed to be paying. People who complete this process are recovering $200, $300, sometimes over $400 per month. That is not a one-time savings. That is a permanent increase to your net monthly deposit for every month going forward from the point the correction takes effect.
Download SSA 44 directly at ssa.gov or pick it up at your nearest Social Security office. If the ARMA situation applies to you, this is the highest return action you can take before December 31st. Drop a comment right now and tell me, are you currently paying more than $185 a month for Medicare Part B? Because if you are, and you experienced a major income change in 2024, what I just described may put real money back in your account starting next month. Third strategy. If you are a surviving spouse, compare both benefit options before the year closes. This is the strategy most people in this category have never been walked through, and it is one of the most significant missed opportunities in the entire Social Security system for the people that applies to. If you lost a spouse and are currently collecting Social Security, whether on your own retirement record or on your survivor benefit, there is a legal option available to you that SSA will not bring up unless you ask directly. You can collect one benefit now and switch to the other one later when it will be higher. The two benefits are your own retirement benefit and your survivor benefit, and the rules governing when each one is maximized are completely different. Your own retirement benefit grows by approximately 8% per year for every year you delay past full retirement age up to age 70. Your survivor benefit does not grow past your full retirement age. It is fixed at that point. What that means strategically is that in many cases, the optimal path is to collect the survivor benefit first, as early as age 60 at a reduced rate, or at full retirement age for the full amount, while letting your own retirement benefit grow towards 70 when it will be at its maximum. Then switch to your own benefit at 70 if it has grown to exceed the survivor amount. Alternatively, if your own benefit is already higher than the survivor benefit, the math runs the other direction. Collect your retirement benefit and evaluate whether switching to the survivor benefit later adds value. The specific right answer depends on your individual numbers, your age, your late spouse's benefit amount, your own earnings record, and how long each benefit has been collecting. SSA will pull both numbers for you if you call 1-800-772-1213 and ask them specifically to compare your retirement benefit and your survivor benefit side by side. That call is free. What you find may permanently change your monthly income by several $100s. And acting before year-end means any switch takes effect in the first quarter of 2026, rather than getting pushed into a later processing cycle. Fourth strategy, delayed retirement credit. Checkpoint for people approaching 70. If you are between full retirement age and 70 and have not yet filed for Social Security, every month you continue to wait is adding 0.2% to your permanent monthly benefit. That compounds to approximately 8% per year. Between full retirement age and 70, the maximum accumulation is 24 to 32% more per month than your full retirement age benefit, for life. But here is what almost nobody knows. If you are approaching 70 and plan to file soon, the timing of when you file relative to the calendar year affects more than just your start date. It affects when your first full adjusted payment processes, how your Medicare premium interacts with your initial benefit amount, and in some cases, whether a particular earnings year gets incorporated into your initial benefit calculation or requires a subsequent recalculation. Filing in November or December versus waiting until January or February of the following year can mean the difference between one earnings year being in your initial calculation or not, and between your Medicare deduction being set based on one income year versus another. If you are in this window, meaning you are between 68 and 70 and considering filing in the next several months, the specific timing of your application matters more than most people realize. Contact SSA directly and ask them to walk through the specific implications of a November, December, or January filing date given your exact birth year and earnings history. Fifth strategy. Request a full benefit audit if your deposit has felt off this year. This one does not get talked about nearly enough. If your Social Security deposit has felt inconsistent, smaller than expected, or simply different from what you calculated when you planned your retirement income, you are entitled to request a full explanation and breakdown of your current benefit calculation directly from SSA. This is not an appeal. It is not a formal complaint. It is a request for transparency about a calculation that directly affects your monthly income. When you contact SSA and request a benefit verification and calculation review, they are required to provide you with a detailed breakdown of how your current benefit amount was determined, which earnings years are in your top 35, what your average indexed monthly earnings figure is, how your full retirement age benefit was calculated, and what adjustments have been applied since your initial filing. This review has surfaced errors for people who had no idea anything was wrong, earnings years missing from the calculation, delayed retirement credits not fully applied, Medicare deductions applied at the wrong tier, adjustments that were supposed to happen and didn't. The year-end timing matters because any correction identified through this review can still be incorporated into the January processing cycle if the review is requested and completed before December 31st. Request the review by calling 1-800-772-1213 or visiting your local Social Security office and asking specifically for a benefit calculation review. Here is what every strategy on this list shares. They are all available right now. They are all documented in SSA policy. They all have year-end timing implications that make acting before December 31st meaningfully better than acting in January, and not one of them will be offered to you proactively by SSA. The agency processes what is in the system. What gets into the system is what you initiate. The retirees who end 2026 with a higher benefit than they started it with are the ones who initiated something before the calendar closed. The ones who end the year with the same number they had in January, or worse, a smaller one, are the ones who assumed that if something better was available, SSA would have told them. SSA does not tell you. That is what SSA Now is here for. So here is your year-end action list. Log in to ssa.gov and verify.
Your earnings record before December 31st. If your Medicare Part B deduction exceeds $185 and your 2024 income included a one-time event, download and file SSA 44 now. If you are a surviving spouse, call SSA and request a side-by-side comparison of your retirement and survivor benefit options. If you are approaching 70 and planning to file soon, ask SSA specifically about the timing implications of a year-end versus New Year application date. And if your deposit has felt off at any point this year, call SSA and request a full benefit calculation review before the year closes. 5 actions. Any one of them could permanently change what lands in your account starting in January. If SSA Now helped you see what is still available to you before this year ends, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. Every deadline, every strategy, every SSA update that affects your retirement income, I track it and bring it here before the window closes. And send this to someone you know who is on Social Security right now. The year-end strategies I just covered are available to them too.